Welcome back to Mama's Moments of Growth, where we hold space for real, raw, and restorative conversations about motherhood, identity, and healing.
We're your co-hosts, Mercy and Patience, and today we'll be discussing a topic called losing myself to find myself again. Now, it's for those mamas who's ever looked in the mirror and
Uh-huh.
thought, I don't know, recognize her, like, who is she?
If you ever felt like you've disappeared into the background of everyone else's needs, today is that conversation. It is a soft landing and a gentle wake up call. Actually, it's a loud
Mm,
call
yeah,
because you need to find yourself again. And I know it's not easy, but we're going to walk you through some steps during this podcast. Hopefully, you can relate to our experience too. Because,
yeah.
yes, sometimes we do lose ourselves, but we can find our way back.
I know that's right. So let's start with, that feeling of what it feels like to lose yourself in motherhood. It's not always dramatic. Sometimes it's quiet. Sometimes it can be subtle or, slow fading. What do you think, Patience?
Definitely, because you're still functioning, you're still showing up, but somewhere along the lines, you stopped feeling like you.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, I'm just thinking about myself. But most, let me ask you, can you describe a time where what it looked like or felt like when you realized that you were lost?
Yeah, for me, I would say it was during my first year of being a mum. And the reason
Uh-huh,
why I say that is because it's a new identity that I took on. Before then, I was me. Be it me as a single to me in marriage, I was still who I was. But
uh-huh,
that transition really took, I guess, an effect just because I now stepped into a role of being purely focused or additionally focused on a child
uh-huh.
as well as myself. Now, I felt like I was in survival mode at that time. That made me realize I had lost me, as in me, Mercy. But you, Patience?
I think for me, it probably happened in two phases. Phase one
Hmm.
probably being when I had my first son, because I used to look back at like what I kind of focused on before he came, and I was very career driven. I wanted to work my way up the career ladder, but after I had him, that just totally changed.
Mm,
I started putting all my energy into, raising him, nurturing him. And then I used to think to myself, okay, what is my skill set outside of being a mum and what do I attach it to?
yeah.
So I realized that I was losing myself in that phase.
Mm,
And then the second phase for me was probably when my second son arrived. I mean, they're 18 months apart. And so dealing with both of them now
mm,
just took me back to that phase of, losing yourself.
yeah.
I became branded under the title of a mum with two under two. I mean, for
Mm,
me, I knew that a mum with two under two meant you had two children that were under two. But beyond that, what did it mean? I didn't know.
yeah. Wow. I mean, I can relate to that because again, I was in that same stage as 202, and no
Uh,
one tells you what it's like, what you need to juggle, how easy
yeah.
or how hard it is. Now, I wish that someone had wrote a blog or a book or something along that line, just so that, it could help, I guess, so we know what to expect. But I mean, if anyone's listening, if you have gone through that phase and you want to write a book, please do. I'm sure it will
Yep.
literally bless someone else. I'm sure it will.
Definitely. I totally agree with that. Totally agree with that. Anything to help mothers out
Yeah,
there, please do it. Please do it. Please do it. And
100%.
got a question for you, Mercy. So were there specific moments that triggered that awareness for you?
I mean, I think I mentioned it earlier already, but for me, it was around the time
Uh,
where I felt like I was, again, just in that survival mode or existing, for a moment. But that period wasn't long before I noticed that I was doing that. But I
right.
think it was just, yeah, just realizing that I was only existing, not for me, but existing for everyone else. I think that's what I would say.
Okay.
What about you?
I think there were several moments for me, but one of the particular moments that I think I remember is probably going to bed every night after the noise is all settled down. You've done all the feeding, the running around, the
Mm,
cleaning up. I used to think to myself, who am I? So
yeah.
for me, it was just quiet moments just before bed. Those were my awareness points, shall I say?
Wow. Wow. I'm sure
Yeah,
a lot of us can relate to that. I'm sure.
oh yeah, definitely. And I'm not just going to try and brush it under carpet. There is a cost to you disappearing because you are still functioning. Like I said, you're still showing up, but somewhere along the
Yeah.
line, you stopped feeling like you.
Mm.
So can you describe what that looked like if you went through that?
I mean, for me, I would say that, by the way, it's a good question, but I would say it was my creativity. I think that took a knock-on effect on
Okay.
that. I felt like, there was no room to be creative or to even think, about anything creative. I only could think about what my child needed, what we needed as a family,
Uh-huh.
nothing about myself, if that makes sense. I would also
Uh,
say that my confidence outside being a mum. Now, it's one thing being an introvert, being
yeah.
shy, being reserved,
Yeah.
just, watching your surroundings, but then disappearing in
Uh-huh.
quote, not my confidence, in being able to do anything outside of being a mum, which I love with all my heart. Don't get me wrong, I love being a mum, but my confidence literally,
Uh,
yeah, it was knocked a bit just because I'm like, I don't have the energy to even think about, what I
uh,
want to do, think about how I want to show up. It was literally just about everything else but myself. What about you?
I just wanted to add to that, like, because I think when you do go so long without checking in with yourself, it does take a toll on you emotionally, mentally, and physically.
Yeah.
Often no one notices because you're doing the job, but really you're
Hmm.
running empty. And
Hmm.
just go back to the question that you asked. I think for me it was definitely energy.
Yeah.
My
Yeah.
energy. If you required anything else beyond my daily mum routine, no, it's not happening.
I can I hear that loud and clear. I do. I do.
Yeah, it definitely is not happening. And Messi, just thinking about it, were there any signs? If you look back now, take a true reflection back.
Hmm.
Were
Hmm.
there times that you realized that there were signs that you ignored?
Okay. I've been in motherhood a few years now. So I'm trying to think back. For
Mm,
me, I don't think there's one I can recall 100% because
mm,
through it all, I still smiled, I still showed up, I did all the things that I
mm.
needed to do. Um, I'll say that I don't think was there any other warning sign other than me smiling. I think there's periods where I'm not a snappy person, but I guess in expressing how I felt, it came across as snappy. And I
Yeah,
guess that would be around loved ones, those who are just
yeah,
checking in that weren't necessarily in my home. They're just checking
yeah.
on me and how things were. Again, I wasn't divulging information about my home, but it was just a thing of I'm tired, like snapping, because you're
Mm,
tired, because you're hungry, um, and because you're running on empty, really.
of course, of course.
I think that's what I would say. Yeah, what were there any warning signs for you at all? I'll be interested to hear about it.
When I look back, I still think about it today as well. Like, I think my moods definitely, my body aches. Like, my body was
Yeah,
telling me rest, rest, rest. But because I just thought it was part and parcel of being a part of a mother, I just really ignored it. The mental tiredness and the fatigue, same
yeah,
thing. Mentally, it really did take a toll on me. And I knew that mentally I was getting exhausted. Even there was parts where sometimes, like, I will find difficult to sleep or broken sleep. You already had it, obviously,
yeah.
due to night feeds. But it
Mhm.
was like, I think sometimes I had this fear of, like, oh my gosh, I got to do this again tomorrow. How am I going to cope?
No.
Yeah, so I think for me, those were definitely things that I ignored. Definitely.
Mm. Okay, I hear that, and I think a lot of mums, again, who are listening, we can all relate to that.
Mm,
But while that's been said, let's talk
uh-huh.
about how you can reclaim yourself now. We often, even in
Mm-hmm.
this podcast, we often say that we need to have space to reclaim your identity, and that's
Uh-huh.
one of the aims here at Mama's Moments of Growth. Now, to
Uh-huh.
support you in reclaiming yourself, you have to look at how you can start that journey or restart the journey if you started before. Now, for
Uh,
most of us, it doesn't happen overnight, and sometimes that's okay because really it is a process. What do you think, Patience? Can you relate
yeah,
to that?
definitely. I think it's like what you said, it is a process because it's a series of those small choices, the tiny yeses that you say to yourself, the honest moments that, you get time to reconnect with who you are. So definitely, I definitely do agree with that. Uh,
Yeah. But I would
Question for
say
you,
then,
man. Oh, sorry, go
okay,
ahead.
go on. No, go on.
No,
No, no,
no, I want
go
to hear
ahead.
what you want to say. Go on.
I want to ask you, like, have you had that thought of, or how did you reconnect yourself back to who you were? Now that you
Good
said that.
question. Yeah, good question. I think for me, I remember there was a period where we went to take a family photo shoot. And that for me was an opportunity to show up, have this new sort of makeover. So I spent time or spent money, shall I say, with my hair, my nails. my outfit, and my excuse was just like, I just want to look good for this photo shoot. But it was beyond that.
Yeah.
I wanted to really, really reconnect with who I was physically, because, you know, sometimes obviously being a mom, being part and parcel of that. No, I won't say being part and parcel of that, because I don't agree with that actually. So I take that back in. But you can sometimes lose your sense of self-care, you know, doing your hair to look good, doing your nails to look good. So for me, that photo shoot was that opportunity.
Okay. Okay. And how did that make you feel, Patience?
Obviously good. So good.
I
So good.
love
I think
it.
for me I think for me it was like sort of like an achievement that, yeah, I'm making steps to doing things for myself beyond this motherhood thing that I've taken on. So for me, yeah, I felt good.
Hey.
I felt good. I'll probably throw that question back to you. So what did you do to reconnect to yourself?
I think the first of all, was acknowledging that I didn't feel like myself. That was the first thing I had to do. And then through that, I realized I wasn't making time for myself. I wasn't taking the time for me. My time was literally
Okay.
being spent between sleeping, nurturing, looking after, loving on my family. But yeah, without
Mm-hmm.
really, taking time for myself. I always hear, my mum, my sister, my friends always say that you need to look after yourself, Mercy. You need to look after yourself. Like, it wasn't because I was
Mm-hmm.
unkept, because I wasn't. It was just a thing of I was
Mm.
doing everything for everyone else, pouring into everyone else, but not
Yes.
pouring into myself.
Yeah.
And that made me realize that, I am important too. That without me having my energy, how am I meant to give back? If I'm
Mm.
not
I
good,
like that. I like
yeah.
that.
I mean, if I'm not good, how can
Repeat
everyone
that.
else?
Repeat that. Repeat that. Repeat that for the listeners.
I wish I could, but I'm going to repeat something else instead. But on a more serious note, what I would say to every listener that is listening, I would say that
Mm.
if you're not good, you're pouring to everyone else. How can you pour into yourself? If you're not good, how can everyone else
Mm-hmm.
be? You need to be good so that everyone else can be good. I mean,
Mm-hmm.
don't get me wrong. Even if you're pouring to everyone else, they will be good. But at the end of the day, you're going to burn out. You're going to crash. Who's going to pick you up? You understand? And that for me, it really did hit home. So that's what I was saying on that.
And you can see the reason why I'm screaming that in the beginning, that it's not a
Yeah.
gentle wake up call. It's loud because you are trying to avoid that burnout period. And it does happen.
Yeah.
It does happen. Like, there is no mama superwoman. I don't know if that makes sense, but I hope you know what I mean by that.
To our children, we are super mums, though. We are super women.
True. True. But what I think what I'm trying to say is that there's no perfect mother.
Yeah.
You don't need to always try and have to work to attain this there's no perfection in motherhood.
Mhm.
Basically, that's what I'm just gonna say. And that's what makes the beauty of it,
Yeah.
shall I say.
Cool.
Got a question. Did the community or anything else, like your creativity, your faith, play a part in your rediscovery?
That's a good question. And I would say yes. For me, it was my
Okay.
faith. Faith is very important to me. So just hearing, the word
Yeah.
of God, worshiping, praising really helped me, especially to come out of a place
Mm-hmm.
of, I won't say darkness, but come out of a place of being low, come out of a
Mm.
place of feeling lost, out of a place of
Mm-hmm.
feeling that, I'm literally running on empty, that I need to be revived again. I think for me, hearing that praise, that worship, just being uplifted
Right.
really helped in my rediscovery, and realizing that, I am important, that I am created in the image of God, and so on and so forth. I also say that my friends and my friends, my sisters, in
Mm-hmm.
every phase of my life, they reminded me of who I was before, encouraged me to do things outside of
Mm.
motherhood. That yes, I am still a mum. It is my identity. It is who I am now,
Mm-hmm.
but I am still me. So it encouraged me to do things that I used to love, or even think about new
Okay.
things that I can start to love. What about you?
Nice. I just wanted to add on to something that you even said about faith, because faith is a big thing for me as well. The funny thing in motherhood, I actually struggled to, how do I say, keep up the faith
Mhm.
a little while. And I won't say keep up, I still had faith, but like, you obviously, when there's low periods and you're feeling tired, you're feeling exhausted,
Yeah.
I found it hard to pick up the Bible. I found it hard to say, maybe prayers sometimes.
Yeah.
And I like what you said about praise and worship, because that's for me is how I could reconnect as well.
Mhm.
For a lot of praise and worship, just changing that atmosphere, shifting my mind. So I think for me that did play a big part. And about maybe community, I want to shout out to my sister. I remember prior to the whole photo shoot thing, my younger sister came to my house and she saw me one day and she was like, this week and we're going to go out and we're going to go and get our nails done.
Oh.
And lo and behold, we did, and we did go out. And I remember she said to me, I got my nails and my feet done. And she said to me that, I want you like from now on just to be doing this a little something for yourself, even in the midst of, this new motherhood you've taken on with your two toddlers. Do something for yourself. And ever since then, I mean, I've never looked back. I always remember that for myself. And I'm like, oh, I will do my nails. I was doing my nails prior to that. So before I had the kids,
Yeah.
I mean, I was doing my nails, but I stopped. I thought to myself, oh, you've got the kids. Let's park that to the back. But she brought that forward for me. So definitely, I was definitely grateful for that.
Thank you, sister.
Yeah.
Love it, love it, love it.
And I think one big thing about rediscovery as well is, and it's an important thing for mothers to do, is to give yourself permission to change. Because sometimes we can expect to go back to the way who we were, and it doesn't happen. It doesn't happen. The truth is, motherhood does change us, and the goal isn't to go backwards; it's to become who we are now.
Exactly, and I can definitely, relate with that. There is beauty in becoming someone new, or even a better version of who you were before. Someone that is deeper and stronger and even more whole. That's what I'll say on that. So, I'm gonna ask you a question. It's my turn. My turn. Have you ever, or how have you evolved actually because of either what you've been through or what you are going through?
I think one area that I had evolved is my mindset towards the way I utilize my skill set.
Okay.
I think I've explained that before. My child just thought I was so career focused, thinking that that's the best way to utilize my skill set. But then after a while, I thought to myself, no, how can I utilize my skill set for myself to create a service to the community?
Okay.
I started to rebrand myself a little bit. I was so used to having the work pattern of becoming like a permanent worker, but no, I wanted to actually take on contracting a bit more, take on different roles that allowed me to expand and use my skill set. So for me, that was a way that I evolved. I think another way is obviously I allowed myself to make time for creativity.
Yeah.
I think day to day, when you're just trying to keep up with life, you can just carry on with the status quo. And I think for me, I just said, no, how can I be creative in this new me? So that's a way that I think that I evolved. And how about you, since you threw the question at me?
Oh, I still have one more question to ask you. I think I'll park it for another day.
No. Answer.
But no, because I really want to find out, when you said that you had to rebrand yourself, I wanted to ask, how?
Okay, go on.
What were the steps you did to rebrand yourself? Just in case any other mum, is listening, thinking that I need to do that actually. And like, what did you do?
Yes. Okay. I think for me, it's about accepting. First of all, accepting who I was, first of all, and accepting this is what I've got. How do I now become confident or demonstrate that confidence with what I've got?
Yeah.
Like, for example, let me use creativity. A lot of times we can just say, oh, I'm creative. How am I showing fruits of my creativity in motherhood? Is it, for example, for me, I expressed it through my prior balloon business. And I love media. I love photography, videos. For me, editing. And then it's now like, okay, with that skill set, now how do I make that a service that people want and people need? And I think for me, that was just how I was rebranding myself. But a lot of that came from being confident in myself.
Yeah, no, I love that. And by the way, guys, all of our videos and our audio, it is Patience who's doing the editing, and she's doing an amazing job. So I am giving you your flowers. And back to the balloon business as well. No, honestly, like, yeah, she's amazing things. The end products were always amazing. So I'll give you your flowers for that.
Thank you.
I'm just going to go back to answer your question. So I know you're welcome. I knew you were asking me a question.
I have to throw that back.
Just answer your other question before we go ahead. In terms of how I've evolved through the things I've been through, I think for me is I've become more confident at times. I'm still learning to be more confident, but I think my confidence is really, really started to come through now over the years. Confidence to speak, to do, to move forward.
Yeah.
Even outside of things of like career, for example, Obviously, being younger, I was very, very much career minded. I wanted to do certain things, working 9 to 5, but I was more confident to, branch out a bit more. I've always wanted to own my own business as well, but do that. I
Yes.
think I have not COVID-19 as in the virus, but I have the lockdown period to thank for that, because that what has kickstarted my journey of business. And I think for me, another way I evolved is because through moments of for myself, so downtime. When I'm
Okay.
having downtime, I like to scroll through social media, not aimlessly, because certain things I just won't just, give my time to on social media, but I like just to sit for a moment and just scroll through so that, my mind can be cleared of other things. But yeah, that would be me answering the question. I know you wanted to throw that back to me before.
I'm just going back to that confidence building, because I think it's a big thing for mothers to understand that, you know, when you're losing yourself, your confidence is going to get knocked, whether you like it or not.
Yeah.
And I think I like the way that you kind of gave that sort of link between having a period of time that allowed you to express that confidence or build that confidence, and you doing things that you won't necessarily have done if you didn't have that time. So I think for mothers, it's key for them to understand that, well, it's for new mothers, and I'm talking about people that are going on maternity leave, so not necessarily new, but when you have this opportunity of maternity leave, yes, you're looking and you're nurturing this child, bringing up this child or children that you have.
Yeah.
Do something for yourself that you've never done before. And do you know what? Even if it goes wrong, hey, you done it. Pick yourself up again. Keep doing it, because you have these 6 months, 12 months, 3 months, however long the duration of your maternity leave to perfect that. So, yeah, definitely.
Cool.
And I think I'm going to ask you a question, Leslie.
You love asking me questions, but I'm here for it.
That's what podcast is about.
I'm here
It's
for
a
it.
discussion. What parts of this new you is worth celebrating?
I'm still going to go back. I think I've been saying it so many times already, but I'm going to go back to it. It's the confident side of me.
Yes.
That's worth celebrating, because there were times whereby, again, being an introvert and being someone that's shy and reserved, I know it may not come across now, but trust me, I am still that. I think there were times whereby I wish I could be confident like other people. I wish I can stand and present and not feel shy, not stutter, not go be nervous. But over the years, I've been doing things to make me come out of my comfort shell. I know. I'm still working. I'm still working on it. I won't say my confidence 100%, but it's much better than where it was a year ago, 2 years ago, 3 years ago. But I'm still working on it. But I think for me, it's definitely my confidence, because the mess that everyone knew before is still there, but I'm at a new level now. So yeah, I'll say my confidence. What about you?
I like that. Well done, Mama.
Okay.
I like that. I think for me, one thing that I do celebrate, and I'm probably currently celebrating it now, is the love for editing. I'm still growing in it.
Yeah.
I'm still growing in it. But do you know what? I was actually thinking that, just while you're talking, that I've also been doing editing before I was going through maternity, or before motherhood, because I still do love photography. So after I used to take my shots, I used to edit them, but I don't think I would say I was confident in it.
Okay.
So I think the confidence plus the editing together, for me now, is something that I am definitely celebrating.
Yeah. And you know me, every time I see, the return of the work's been done, I always give you flowers, because honestly, you are doing an amazing job.
Thank you.
Celebrate you on that. Give you your flowers. Click, click, click.
Thank you. Give me yours as well.
I mean, we've spoken so much about, the cost of disappearing, giving yourself permission to change, reclaim your identity. Now, mums, I want to give you the tools for the journey back to you. We've spoken so much, but it's now time to really dig deep on how we can go back to that journey of, being ourselves, and reclaiming who we are, or who we were, or who we want to be. So let's talk about, what helps, what keeps us grounded, what keeps us connected, what keeps us reminded, of the purpose. What would you say?
So I think there are many things, and some examples could be therapy, journaling, breath work. Honestly, actually taking that time to pause and actually practice your breathing exercises definitely does help. Or just honest conversations like this.
Yeah.
All of this, it really matters. I'm just thinking about it. Let's try and help our listeners further.
Okay.
What practices helped you stay connected to yourself, especially on hard days?
For me, it's still a learning curve. Every day's a learning curve.
Yes.
Everything's a learning curve.
Definitely.
Still a journey, but I'm really trying to do something that I love. That could be baking. It could be pouring into other people, because I
Right.
have a heart for people. So no matter what, even if I am probably
Mm.
empty cup, I still love to pour into other people.
Yeah.
But music also is one of the things I love to, especially old school. I love to listen to music. I like to listen to praise, worship. It's still part and parcel of who I am. And again,
Yeah.
I mentioned it before, but having some downtime, just scrolling through social media, be it TikTok or Instagram, not for a long time. I'm not an aimless scroller. Sometimes it is with purpose. Maybe it's things I'm looking for. Just but for a few minutes, just to, reset my mind, clear my mind. They're the things I like to do to, stay connected to myself, especially in days where that is
Okay.
tough, because, you might never have someone to talk to. You might not have an ear, a listening
Yeah.
ear at that period where you need it. So that's what I like to go to just in case. But you,
Nice. So, I think for me is I always reflect. I love reflecting, and I think I've said it in a few of the previous podcasts. The vision. I always have a vision of who I want to be, not just as a mum, not outside of a mum. I mean, you don't never go outside of a mum, but what I mean is that beyond the mum, I have the vision of who I want to be, and I always revisit that. To see how my actions are aligned with that, should I say. So I always have like the mid-year check-ins, beginning of the year check-ins. And one thing I do is I always ask myself is, how am I making an impact?
Yeah.
Even if it's small, I always think about that.
Mm.
Yeah.
I like that.
Thank you. I'm thinking just for our listeners, because the aim of this podcast is just to give you practical tips, not saying that we're there. Mercy highlighted this. So one thing in this podcast is just understand that we have not got it all. We've not got all our solutions. We're just sharing
100%. Yeah.
with you and trying to just give a helping hand where needed. So Mercy, what would you say? What would you tell Mama who has realized that she has drifted? What would you say to her? Anything else?
I would say to you, mums, that it's okay to drift, but it's great when you notice that you've drifted, because, at that period is when you can now start the process of going back, start a journey
Yes.
back to a path of
Yeah.
rediscovery.
Yeah.
It's what, if you
Yeah.
don't know you've drifted, you're going to carry on going on this path that maybe isn't for you. It's a wrong path. So you need to be able to notice that. Again, I would say that drifting isn't bad. It's not all bad, but it's staying drifted and not find your way back that is tough. But again, I say the minute that you notice that you have drifted is when, the lines will fall for you. You'll be able to go back. You'll be able to look at that path and say, look, this is the wrong path I've been on. Let me go back. Let me go on this journey instead. Let me rediscover who I was before.
Yes.
So that's something that I'll say to you, mamas. It's okay to drift. It really is. Do not beat yourself up because you've drifted or, you've lost yourself. Just start that process of going back. That's what I'd say.
Definitely. And I just like to add on to that as well. I think you've said it already, the importance of acknowledging that it's happening, and acknowledging is not a bad thing. It's the beginning of a beautiful bloom, shall I say?
Yeah.
Like, don't bury your head in it and think, okay, I'm here. I don't do the things that I used to do. It's the end. No, realize or look deeper and think, what have I actually got this season? Because it might be something new that has been there, but you're just not actually putting focus on. And I think one thing I would also say is just be a bit quiet. Find out what is really tugging at your heart, because that represents the core of who you are.
Yeah.
And that could help you align yourself back. So that's what I think I would say.
Okay.
So we're almost coming to the end.
Already.
Almost coming to the end, is it? But to the mamas who are feeling lost right now, we see you. We want to let you know that we see you. We want you to know that you are not broken and you are becoming. You're definitely becoming.
And as you are becoming, you don't have to rush. You don't have to, be who you were. Even if the old you was great, you can be someone new and amazing.
Definitely.
It just, you just have to keep saying yes to those quiet parts. And I like, when you said that, have a quiet moment, reflect. So keep saying yes to the quiet parts of you, that's waiting to be seen, because the new you will be seen. We still see you now as you are, but we will still see the new you as well, the becoming you.
Yeah. Definitely. And if today's episode resonated with you, we'll love if you'd share it,
Yeah.
leave a review and follow us for more moments like these. And before you go, of course, we're going to leave you with some key takeaways. I just want you to remember as well that it's okay to admit you feel lost. This doesn't mean you're failing. It means you're human and you are healing.
Yes.
So some takeaways for you is we've mentioned this. Point one is probably to acknowledge your feelings. It's fine. It's fine to acknowledge your feelings. Two, acknowledge what's been buried.
Yeah.
Three, notice the tiny glimmers. Number four will probably be to start your return with gentle curiosity. I think that step is probably important, and that's the action that you need to take. Start your return with gentle curiosity. And number five is to accept that you're becoming someone new. Please, mama, accept it. You might not go back to who you are. You've actually, motherhood has changed you.
100%.
You're not going to go back. So please accept it with joy. This new person, she is definitely great.
Yeah.
It's just a gentle reminder for these things that you're not broken, you are rebuilding. And, as a thank you for joining us, you've got this worksheet to help you on that growth journey.
Yep.
So you can download it. You can actually find it in the description box in this YouTube, or you can head over to our Instagram page. You can definitely find it. So just a reminder again, you are not lost. You are still becoming. And is there any final words from you, Mercy?
I would say, like, in the next episode, actually, that we might be digging into something that is going to be great, exciting. It's the moments that broke me, or it may even change it. We don't know. So stay tuned as well. And
yeah,
I just wanted to let you know that, it will be a powerful reflection on things that have reshaped us. It could be pain, it could be joy, it could be, things that have happened that had to reshape you, and how we found that strength on the other side. So, but until then, keep growing.
keep becoming.
Yeah.
Bye for now.
See you later.